How did your battalion's warrior culture become an excuse for hazing? Our new battalion commander arrived with big ideas about building toughness. Colonel Brennan, 25 years in, 3 combat tours, believed soldiers needed to be hardened through extreme challenges. First week, he implemented what he called warrior traditions. Intense physical training sessions at odd hours, sleep deprivation exercises, stress testing that pushed everyone past their limits. This is how we prepare for real combat, he'd announced during formation. Soft soldiers get people killed. I was a sergeant responsible for 9 soldiers in my squad. Watched these traditions slowly morph into something darker. Started with senior NCOs taking Brennan's philosophy too far. Staff Sergeant Quincy made junior soldiers do push-ups in the rain for 4 hours straight. Called it character building. Private Donovan passed out from exhaustion. Quincy just laughed. In combat, the enemy won't care if you're tired. Then it escalated. Late night smoke sessions became mandatory. New soldiers got singled out for increasingly cruel punishments disguised as training. Private Wade showed up to formation with bruises on his arms. When I asked what happened, he looked terrified. Extra training, Sergeant. Building mental toughness. I started asking questions. Found out Quincy and 2 other NCOs were running their own warrior initiation program after hours, making privates fight each other bare knuckle, locking them in storage closets overnight, forcing them to eat expired MREs until they vomited. All of it justified as tradition, as toughening them up for deployment. This is how warriors are made, Quincy told me when I confronted him. Colonel Brennan wants us to push limits. That's what we're doing. I reported it to my platoon sergeant. He brushed it off. Boys being boys, they'll be fine. Reported it to the company commander. Same response. These young soldiers need to toughen up. Maybe you're too soft for this unit. Nobody wanted to challenge the warrior culture Brennan had created. Speaking up made you weak, made you part of the problem. Wade stopped coming to meals, lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks, dark circles under his eyes, flinched whenever senior NCOs walked by, found him sitting behind the barracks one night, hands shaking. He looked up at me with hollow eyes. I can't do this anymore, Sergeant, but if I report it, they'll make it worse. And nobody believes privates anyway. That's when I realized how broken the system had become. We'd created an environment where torture was tradition, where cruelty was called training. I made a decision that probably ended my career advancement. Gathered every piece of evidence I could find. Photos of injuries, written statements from soldiers too scared to come forward alone, recordings of Quincy bragging about the warrior program, took it all to the inspector general, bypassed the chain of command completely. Investigation started within 48 hours. Criminal Investigation Division descended on our battalion like a storm. Quincy and 4 other NCOs got arrested. Court-martialed for assault, hazing, and conduct unbecoming. All received prison time and dishonorable discharges. Colonel Brennan wasn't criminally charged, but he was relieved of command, forced to retire. His warrior culture had created a hazing ring that destroyed careers and traumatized soldiers. My platoon sergeant called me a traitor, said I'd broken the code by going to IG. Half my fellow NCOs stopped talking to me. The company commander wrote my evaluation report, marked me down for loyalty and judgment. My promotion to staff sergeant got delayed 2 years. But Wade came to my quarters the night after Quincy's arrest. For the first time in months, he looked like a human being again, instead of a terrified animal. Thank you, Sergeant. You believed us when nobody else would. 5 other soldiers thanked me privately over the next week. Young kids who'd been suffering in silence, thinking abuse was normal, thinking they were weak for not being able to handle it. The new battalion commander cleaned house, implemented actual oversight, made it clear that hazing wouldn't be tolerated under any name, including tradition or training. But here's what really changed things. Wade didn't just recover, he stayed in the army. 10 years later, he's now a sergeant first class running his own squad. Called me last month, said he'd just stopped a hazing incident in his unit. Some NCO trying to implement warrior traditions on new privates. Shut it down immediately, Wade told me. Told my commander about what happened to me, how you saved my life by speaking up. They took it seriously this time. That's the thing about breaking toxic cultures. It takes one person refusing to accept that this is just how things are. One person willing to lose everything to do what's right. Quincy's in federal prison. Brennan's retired in disgrace. The warrior culture they built destroyed dozens of careers and traumatized countless soldiers. Wade's building something better. A culture where toughness doesn't require cruelty. Where training doesn't require torture. He just made sergeant major last week. Youngest in his brigade. Going to run his own battalion someday. And the first thing he'll do is make sure nobody ever mistakes hazing for tradition again.